we're referencing this in my presentation.
What's this?
I'm referencing this in my memo, and I just want you to know what part of the HR, what you're referring to.
Oh, thank you. We're rolling?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, good morning, everyone. It is Monday, May 23rd. Welcome to the Shawnee County Board of County Commissioners. I'm Aaron Mays, currently serving as chair this year, representing District 3. On my left is Commissioner Bill Rippon, representing District 1, and on my right is Commissioner Kevin Cook, representing District 2. Good morning. Good morning. All right, first item, please.
Item 3, consent agenda.
We have 3 items on the consent agenda. I would move for approval.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Mays and seconded by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
Item 4, new business A, County Clerk number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Okay, under facility management, paid with ARPA and SLFRF funds, Cine and Company, Inc., $403,902 is for renovations to the 707 Quincy building. Under Lake Shawnee, Turf Works, $24,704.74 is for irrigation control upgrade at Lake Shawnee Golf Course. Under Special Public Works, Foley Industries, Inc., $156,800 is for the purchase of an excavator, less trade-in. Total vouchers as of May 20th, 2022, $1,102,299.77. If there's no questions or comments, I would move for approval of the vouchers.
Second.
Okay, a motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
Item A2, consider correction orders.
I'll move for approval of correction orders.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Mays, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
Item A3, public hearing and consider approval of resolution number 2022-33, exempting certain property owned by Hill's Pet Nutrition, Inc. from ad valorem taxation for economic development purposes.
Good morning, Commissioners. Ashley Biegert, Assistant County Counselor, here before you as Chair of the Administrative Review Committee. I just want to provide a little background on how we got here and what this process entails. As you're aware, Kansas law allows a mechanism for county government to provide a tax exemption for economic development for certain property and land in the county. As such, we have a resolution that lays out the policy and procedure for doing just that. That resolution is 2002-9. And that policy provides that prior to granting that tax exemption, an applicant is to submit the application for the exemption that's going to be reviewed by the Administrative Review Committee. We did that, and I was here before you a couple weeks ago to report on that and provide you the committee's report. Subsequent to that, the board is to set a public hearing and consider a resolution to approve the tax exemption. This particular request is for a tax exemption made by Hill's Pet Nutrition, Inc. for their property located at 1035 Northeast 43rd Street. This site houses Hill's Small Paws facility, which is utilized for research and development of nutrition products for small dogs. The facility also houses a customer engagement center. Hills reported that $25 million was invested and 6 FTE employees were added as a result of constructing this new facility. The Administrative Review Committee reviewed the application and recommended to you a 10-year tax exemption at 100% of the value of $10,515,140, less the school capital outlay portion, which they are required to pay by statute. As I reported earlier this month, the Administrative Review Committee recommends approval of this request. The terms of the exemption, including all of the eligibility requirements, which also includes an annual review process, is all contained in the resolution that is before you today. There are members from Hills today, representatives, to speak to you if you have any questions about this particular project, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have about the process.
Any questions?
I don't have any,
None.
Okay.
but I believe Ms. Beck handed us something prior to the beginning of the meeting.
That was on the memo that references that when the hearing's closed, the commission will proceed with section 20, print 4 of HR 2002-9. And I wanted, since we didn't have anything with your memo, I wanted you to know that that is part you have to consider before adopting the resolution, that the property exemption is granted will be used exclusively for the purposes named, and that if the property gets relocating from another county within the state, that they have to have permission from the Department of Commerce and the housing prior to qualifying. And we just want to make sure that they met that criteria.
Well, this small pause isn't relocating from another county.
No, but we put that as part of our information to you, and we had failed to adopt that or put that on in the attachment, so I want to make sure you had that.
Okay.
And we
Appreciate
need
that.
to open a public hearing.
Yeah, okay. So let's make a motion I'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Mays, seconded by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Okay, we're in a public hearing.
Great, thanks for your support today. I'm Dave Beloga, Vice President of the Science and Technology Center here in Topeka, Kansas. Just a quick update, the Small Pause Center did open in June of 2021, and as was mentioned, we did hire 6 full-time incremental employees to support that facility. Facility is basically to help us discover new nutritional solutions, both for the wellness and unique physiology, health and well-being of small and mini pups, which are very different than larger dogs. Additionally, we do host the Engagement Center, which hosts seminars and continuing education sessions for thousands of veterinary students and veterinary professionals from all around the world. So the facility is state-of-the-art, as was mentioned, and it will help us fulfill our continuing mission at Hills, which is to enrich and lengthen the special relationship with people and their pets. So thank you to this commission for your support and to help us innovate for the future. Any questions?
Any questions?
I was there at the groundbreaking and ribbon cutting, and it's a great facility and a great addition to Shawnee County.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Commissioner Cook.
Thank you, Dave. Is there anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this? Anyone opposed? Seeing none, I'll make a motion that we close the public hearing and approve the resolution.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Mays, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please. Thank you.
Item B, Parks and Recreation. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C-172-2022 with the Sertoma Great Topeka Duck Race Committee to provide the 2022 Great Topeka Duck Race activities on September 17th at Lake Shawnee, with the organizer to pay special event fees totaling $1,040 for deposit in the Parks and Recreation Building Maintenance Fund.
Good morning, Commissioners. Randy Luby, Parks and Recreation. Before you today is our annual contract with the Sertoma clubs for put on the duck race in September. It's, I believe the first one was 1998 at Lake Shawnee. It's an event that we are really pleased to be a co-sponsor of and a partner with. It's very popular. This benefits all the programs of Sertoma clubs of Topeka. I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have.
Questions for Randy? No?
Make a motion to approve the contract.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Next item, please.
Item C, Health Department. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C-173-2022, amendment with the City of Topeka to receive an additional $565,659.93 from the Community Development Block Grants for COVID-19 mitigation.
Good morning, Commissioners. Derek Furlong, Infectious Disease Manager for the Health Department. Several months ago, we came before you asking for approval to receive funding from kind of this, or I should say approve funding from this same batch of grants from the city. really geared towards COVID testing, vaccination, mitigation, prevention, that sort of thing. The issue with that first round of funding, shouldn't necessarily say the issue, but one of the barriers to that first round of funding was that it had to be expended by June of this year, the end of June 2022. So being just about a month left of that. Several weeks ago, I should say, the city approached us again about some additional funding from this same batch. It's the Community Development Block Grant, which is HUD funding. Additional funding for the same purposes, same batch of funding, same purpose and all of that. We did have some reservations, obviously, taking on additional funding, wanting to be good stewards of the funds and making sure we can expend properly. So we were able to discuss with them about amending sort of that expiration of those funds. This additional funding that they've added to this and then the extended timeline, which goes through the end of August 2023, does apply to the entire batch of funding. So kind of those first rounds that we asked for approval for, any remaining amounts of that, plus this additional $500K plus, the $565,000 and some change, does go through August of 2023. Again, same purpose, COVID mitigation. That extended timeline, again, does allow us to plan a little bit better. We're still evaluating some of the returns we're seeing on our testing site. COVID vaccine, we've had some boosters recently approved for the 5 through 11 age group, and then the younger age group coming down the way as well. Could see some assistance there. Testing is obviously always a concern, especially through the fall, and we really want to make sure that we have the proper supplies to get us through that time beforehand, so that we're not ordering, some supply chain issues, not currently, but you never know. And then mitigation and PPE as well, also assisting community partners and community members and organizations. So with that, I'll answer any questions you might have.
Any questions for Derek?
No, I have none.
All right.
I'll move for approval.
I'll second. Motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Mays. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Thank you. Next item, please.
Item D, County Councilor number 1, Administrative Review Committee report and a request for public hearing to consider a tax exemption for Fairview Corn LLC.
Ashley Biegert again before you as Chair of the Administrative Review Committee. These are the next two items on the agenda are two additional applications for tax exemptions. The two properties are related, the business venture is related, but they're on two separate parcels and they have differing components, and so we requested that they submit two separate applications. You have the Administrative Review Committee report before you. We met on May 4th. Beginning with Fairview Corn, this exemption request is for property located at 5035 Northwest US Highway 24. This is a remodel of an existing warehouse into a pet food manufacturing and packaging facility. At the meeting, the Administrative Review Committee unanimously voted to recommend to you a 100% 10-year tax exemption on the improvement portion of this property only. So the committee voted to request that the applicant make an annual payment in lieu of taxes that would account for the value that was in place and the taxes that were collected prior to this remodel, to account for the existing structure. The request before you today is twofold. One, to acknowledge receipt of the committee's report, and two, to set a public hearing in this matter for June 9th, 2022, if that meets with your availability. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Ashley?
I'll move to acknowledge receipt of the report and to set public hearing on June 9th.
Second. Motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Mays. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Oh, sorry.
I don't think they're going to publish they won't publish the paper on the 30th.
Yeah.
Oh, they are going to?
Yeah, they are.
Oh.
The deadline is Wednesday before 10 o'clock.
So they are going to publish even though it's Memorial Day?
Right.
Phew. Okay, because I'm looking at the calendar going, that's a holiday. Phew. Okay, never mind.
All right, those opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Ashley. Next item, please.
Item D2, Administrative Review Committee report and request for public hearing to consider tax exemption for Fairview Grain LLC.
This is the second portion of that request. This property is on a parcel just to the southwest of the property that you just took under. This is a building that is a new construction for a warehouse storage facility for pet food ingredient storage. Again, the Administrative Review Committee recommended a 10-year 100% tax exemption on this property in full since it is brand new construction. And we would request again that you acknowledge the committee's report and set this matter for hearing also on June 9th, 2022. Be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, I'll move that we acknowledge receipt and set the public hearing for June 9th.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Mays, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Ashley. Next item, please.
Item E, Audit Finance. Number 1, Financial Report for April 30th, 2022.
Good morning, Betty Greiner, Director of Administrative Services, here for the financial report as of April 30th of this year. And I will begin with the overall look of the revenues. Our total revenue for that period of time, it totals $60,420,843. That is $498,000 under our budgeted amount, which amounts to 0.42%, so less than 0.5%. I'll go into each of the different categories. The first category is property tax revenue. We received $53,446,775. This has not changed from last month, as we did not receive a tax distribution in April, and we will not receive one until June. Next category is other tax revenue. Received $3,728,878. That is $45,000 under budget, and that is mostly attributable to motor vehicle tax. Next category is charges for services. Received $1,846,589. That is $132,000 under budget, and that is mostly attributable to the Department of Corrections and specifically to care of prisoners from the state and the city. The last category is other revenue. Received $1,398,601, and that is $139,000 over budget, and that is just spread among different categories of the county. So this is our pie chart that shows where our revenue has come from. 89% of the revenue is from property taxes. Other taxes is 6%, charges for services 3%, and other revenue of 2%. So now we will look at the expenditure side. Our expenditures through April 30th are $38,798,725. That is $735,000 under budget, so a positive variance of $735,000, and that is 0.62%. So again, under 1% of our budget. This chart shows the different categories that we will go into. The first category is law enforcement expenditures of $19,045,591, and that is actually $762,000 under budget, mostly in the sheriff's office and DOC. Recreation, we spent $6,821,028. That is $125,000 under budget. Public Works, we spent $3,366,916. That is $126,000 under budget and mostly in the appraiser's office. Public Health is the next section. We spent $3,900,247. That is right on budget, as those are allocated funds that we just transfer. The next is administrative services. We spent $4,873,720. That is actually $277,000 over budget, and that is attributable to the $250,000 that was scheduled to be paid out of reserves into the capital outlay fund. And our last category is debt service, and we have spent $791,223, and that is right on budget. This chart just shows the different categories. I think this one really shows how much more we spend on law enforcement than the different categories. But this pie chart also shows that 49% of all of our expenses were paid for law enforcement. Recreation is 18%, Public Works 9%. Now that's just the general fund portion of Public Works. Same with recreation. Public health is 10%, administrative services is 12%, and debt service is 2%. Any questions?
Questions for Betty?
Betty, overall, I mean, things look like they're right on track with where our budget is. Going into starting our budget discussions, is there anything that you would draw a red flag to, or anything from our budget so far that you've seen that would draw our attention to for the
No.
2023 budget?
I really think for 2022, we are, as you can see, right on budget and just right where we want to be. You know, and we will look, it's always hard trying to make budgets for the next year this far in advance, especially with some of the economic issues we have going on right now. So that will be, I think, our challenge, is trying to guess what the economy is going to do in 2023.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions?
No.
Okay. Thank you very much, Betty.
Okay, thank you.
Next item, please.
Item 5, public comment.
Is there anyone from the public wishing to speak? I don't have anybody signed up. Seeing none, next item, please.
Item 6, administrative communications.
Any administrative communication today? All right, rowdy bunch today. Next item, please.
Do commissioners have anything?
Oh, sorry, Commissioner Rippon? Commissioner Cook?
Just say, Washburn University baseball team made it into the NCAA playoffs for the first time. They had a good showing, but came up just a little bit short. But
Yeah.
it was good to see them in the mix.
It was close, too.
It was
They
close.
had it.
So anyway, kudos to them.
Yeah.
Commissioner Rippon gave a good speech on Saturday for the rededication of the Crossover Tennis Clubhouse.
Great.
So,
Great. Thanks for doing that.
All right.
I don't have anything else.
Nothing for you? All right, nothing from me. So we'll go to our next item, please.
Item 7, executive session.
We do have a need for executive session today. I'll move that we go into executive session for a period not to exceed 45 minutes for the following reasons, and these are 15 minutes apiece. Number 1, for consultation with an attorney for the public body or agency which should be deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship, specifically contract negotiations for the health department. Number 2, to discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel, specifically in the planning office. Number 3, to discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel, specifically our personnel policies. No action is expected following this executive session. Let's give everyone a few minutes. We'll start at 9:30. That is a motion.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Mays, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. We'll be in executive session at 9:30.
Go ahead.
Okay, we're back from executive session. No action was taken. We are adjourned.
That's going to be worthless anyway, so.